type out everything. So let me Control A. So now we're back to square one. So here I can say from that of our Tkinter, I just want to import what? Import everything. With this asterisk, I signify that I want to import them. So I don't need to deliberately be calling button, frames, and other things. So I'll just, since it's already been imported, I'll just call the button and then hula is there part for me to make use of. So the first thing we're going to do is to set our title, our geometry, and our icon. So that's basically what I'm going to do next. Here I set the title to be that of the easy keys, and I set the width and the height to be 350 by 450. This signifies that this is my width and the height is 450. And this I signify the background color to be gray, and then I gave it a text to welcome to easy keys. I can say calculator. So let's run this. And before I can run this, since I've initialized the application, next thing I need to do is to actually make the application to run in that of the main loop, main loop, because without this main loop, it's not going to work. So let me run this. So let's see what we have so far. We have something like this. Let me just try to resize the width a little bit. I'm going to resize the width to some. Okay, the width is okay like this. We're going to manage this. I'm going to reduce the height to somewhere around 350. Okay. So I think this is okay. So the next thing we're going to do is to add the entry, the labels, and that of the button. So let's make use of grid. So we'll run into some problems at times. So with this, we can actually set the colon and the. Since this grid will initially take, let's set it to what? 0 and that of the colon. Let's set the colon to somewhere around 1. Okay. So have the row and the column. So let's also do the same thing for that of the text. I want this enter to be in row like we saw previously initially. So I want it to be somewhere around 1 and then colon 0. So let's run this. You can see I get something like this, enter, and then a little bit down. So actually set the font. So here you can set the font, and the next thing we want is to put the area. With the font, we're able to adjust some things on it. So we can actually set the area, the size that we want it to be. We can set it somewhere around 12, and then we can make it to be what? So we can make it to be bold. So let's run this. This was not supposed to be here. I wonder how I wrote inside. This supposed to be inside of this label. So let me run it. So you can see it's a little bit looking better. So we can also create an entry here. So we can see car, which stands for car, what entry. So it's going to do what? Take that of the entry here. Is going to take our main, because the main is what we use to initialize our application. So it's going to be main. And then after that, we need to move it to our screen. So also, I want to also make the sound to add the size and other things to make it a little bit big. But let me just add it to the screen so we know where we want to add it. So I want it to be in row 1, in the same row with this of our entry, but in column what? In column 1. So it will mix together in both of them. So let's run it again and see. You can see I get this kind of entry. So I want to resize it and then try to padding it a little bit to the right hand side, so to the left hand side. To achieve this, to make it a little bit nice, we will make use of what is called a place instead of our grid I will make use of. So I can say place here. Here we can actually set our x and y. So I can set our x to somewhere around 103, and I can set our y and y to be somewhere around 7. I can also want to set our width, that's the width of the entry. So I can say the width, let me say the width to around 300, and then I want the height to be somewhere around 70. So we can also see adjust all these parameters the way we want. But let's run it and see what we have currently on the ground. So you can see this guy looks too big, so we need to reduce the width. So I can make the width somewhere around 100. So you can see the width is now being 100. So I can just extend the length. You can see reduce the width to somewhere around 50 by what? I can say 50 by 100. So what I actually did here was just I paused the video and then added this of the X and the Y and the width and the height. So if I run this, let's see how good it looks. Okay, you can see it's not looking the best of its shape, but I think with this we can manage this, we can make use of this. So next what we're going to do is to add our buttons. I'm going to do two examples, then we are going to add other ones too.